very good evening to you all here at Collinsville High School in the very famous Cathedral of High School Basketball. Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium opens the 116th season of Collinsville K-Hawks basketball here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, or at least their home slate, as the Collinsville K-Hawks start their Collinsville-Muscuda Thanksgiving Tip-Off Classic as they face the Miller Career Academy Phoenix. Good evening to you from up in the top of this beautiful gym here in Collinsville. It has this little walkway and area on the top. We're up here, Matt Clark and Zach Roseman, potentially Chris McCluskey here in a little bit on the call for you today, as Collinsville, who is the one team in this four-team tournament, Zach, that has played so far. They won at Heron on Tuesday. The K-Hawks looking to get their home schedule started with a W against the Miller Career Academy Phoenix, a team that, I will say this many times tonight, a team that the K-Hawks lost to last year in heartbreaking fashion in overtime on this very floor, but that game was in February. They've had 9 long months to think about it, Zach Roseman, and they're back on the court tonight with high expectations and high hopes for this year's season, especially for a couple of these players, their final season. Zach Roseman, just give me your season outlook, in maybe just a condensed season outlook for the Collinsville K-Hawks, who finished last year with a record of 21-12, their 5th winning season in the last 6 years.
I mean, really, the goal, the outlook, seems to be pretty good for the K-Hawks. This is a group that, 3 returning starters from the team that did win 21 games last year, some guys that have come in, moving up in the system that have been able to come in, some guys that didn't get a ton of time last year that are getting some time now. And, obviously I think the outlook is pretty good. The prognosticators seem to have the K-Hawks pretty highly rated as, maybe the team to beat in the Southwest, one of the teams to beat in the Southwestern Conference. And, yeah, it should be a fun time, and looks like Dr. Chris McCluskey will be joining us. So I'll go ahead and hand it off to him for this one.
No, you're all good. Hey, and we want to talk to you about the Collinsville K-Hawks and just the atmosphere that this gym will bring, and the opportunities that they will have on this year. Again, 21-12 last year. I think that's the third 21 season in the last 5 years, if I have my math correctly. Obviously, the K-Hawks will be looking to go through their big starting 5, all returners with good varsity experience from last year. And obviously, it's exciting to bring this game to you guys here on the K-Hawk Broadcast Club Network. Obviously, our main flagship network is the K-Hawk Sports Network, and that's where you're going to be able to find the majority of K-Hawk basketball games. But for the first 3 at home for Collinsville, you can find them here today and tomorrow on the K-Hawk Broadcast Club Network. They'll play here today before they play Riverview Gardens, who lost earlier today in the first game of the Collinsville-Muscuda Holiday Tip-Off Classic by a final score of 68-21. Boy, the Rams looked rough there. The K-Hawks will get their chance at Riverview Gardens at 12:30 tomorrow, and they will finish the slate with a 7 o'clock meeting on Saturday night against Muscuda. So 2 games tomorrow for Collinsville. And any day that you play 2 games, it'll be tough, and every team in this classic will play 2 games. On the other end, the Miller Career Academy Phoenix finished 16-11 last year. The Phoenix, well, they were 5-2 at home. They were 7-4 in neutral site games, and they started their season in the Quincy Thanksgiving Tournament. They lost to Springfield Landfair and Quincy. You talked about how they beat Collinsville last year. They almost beat Quincy at Quincy. They only lost by 1 in overtime there. They won at Jackson and Blair Oaks. Those are good teams in the state of Missouri. Lost to O'Fallon, lost to Tolton, lost to CBC, and then they lost to the Class 4 state champions, Vashon, in the playoffs to end their season last year. And Zach, their real main player that they're going to be centered around, the Miller Career Academy Phoenix, is their main returner from last year's team. That's Antoine Franklin Jr., the 6'4", 180-pound senior for Miller Career Academy.
Yeah, he'll be one of the main guys for Coach Brandon Wright. PA guy Chad Burgess will go ahead and announce the starting lineup, so we'll go ahead and announce them along with them. It'll be 6'2" junior number 2 Brian Mann, 6'1" junior number 4 Christian Johnson, previously mentioned Antoine Franklin, 6'3" senior number 32 Michael Walker, and 6'1" sophomore, number 34, Carlawan Nelson.
That is the team that head coach Brandon Wright in his third year at Miller Career Academy takes for the Phoenix. On the other end, the Collinsville K-Hawks, who may have the best starting five in the Metro East. And our PA announcer, Chad Burgess, set to announce them here. 3 seniors, 2 juniors for head coach Darren Lee in his 33rd year of head coaching in the state of Illinois. He'll go with his main guys, the 2 backcourt guards, Nick Horace and Jamori Weisinger, each with 3 years of varsity experience. Zach Chambers will be the man in the middle, number 44, big 6'9", the tallest player, actually the second tallest player that we'll see at the Holiday Tournament this season, or pardon me, the Tip-Off Classic, as Solomon Talbot for the K-Hawks, who will come off the bench for them this year, is 6'10". The 2 juniors for the K-Hawks, Chase Reynolds and Stanley Carnahan, both had starting experience last year but did not start for a Collinsville team that will be looking to build off of a 21-12 year last year that ended with a pretty heartbreaking loss at the hands of top-seeded Quincy in the Quincy Regional, about 2.5 hours north of us. And what do you think? Do you think they're looking for a little bit of revenge? They're looking for a statement season this year, Zach?
I mean, obviously, that's kind of the capability that we're looking for. A lot of Quincy bring a lot of their main guys back. Obviously the expectation is that they're going to be one of the teams to beat in this sectional complex here in 4A. But the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, as the saying goes. And well, you gotten through the first one with their win at Heron on Tuesday, and now you get to defend home court for the first time this year against a team that obviously a new look Miller Career Academy team, but as we mentioned, and I'm sure we'll mention again, this is a team that beat Collinsville last year. So obviously a bitter taste in the mouths for, obviously quite a few returners back. So we'll go ahead and get underway here, as it'll be Michael Walker and Zach Chambers set to tip things off.
Happy Black Friday to you all. Miller Career Academy's in the blue, Collinsville's in the white, with K-Hawks in purple across their chest, and purple numbers on the front and back, and a little bit of holiday hoops action here in November, as Chambers will win the tip out to Chase Reynolds, and Jamori Weisinger will set up the offense for Collinsville to start their first home game of the season. Matt Clark along with Zach Roseman here at the booth to talk to you about this one. Here's Carnahan in the corner. He'll dish it out to Nick Horace on that far side. He's got an outside hit for Jamori Weisinger for 3. No good. Rebound comes to Horace. A good slashing rebound by him. He was able to go above Brian Mann and snag the rebound. Looking for potentially Chambers inside the corner. He'll find Weisinger at the wing. Now it goes inside to Chambers. He's immediately triple teamed, and he loses the ball to Antoine Franklin Jr., who just grabbed it and snatched it. Now Franklin coming down the area. He almost fumbles the ball. Reynolds was looking to steal it away from Miller Career Academy. Now it's Carlin Nelson at the top of the key. Miller Career Academy, 7 players, 10 players who dress for tonight's game. Franklin Jr. for 3. That's good. And the Phoenix have the first bucket of their season, courtesy of Antoine Franklin Jr.
Well, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast that he was probably going to be one of the main guys for this Phoenix squad, and he starts out by hitting a 3 right away.
Horace from the elbow. That's good. And the first bucket for Collinsville at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium this season will come from Nick Horace on the corner, the 6'3" shooting guard. His 3rd year of varsity experience. He's won, I was about to say, he has a ton of victory. 48-18 as a varsity player, Nick Horace, and now he's marked up against Antoine Franklin Jr.'s shot is no good from the outside from Nelson. Then that just falls in right in the middle there. Chambers just trying to reach it from the grasp of Mann. Is he able to get in, and the K-Hawks can run. It's Reynolds to his junior partner, Carnahan, who will go up and around with his right hand. K-Hawks have their first lead of the game, 4-3.
Yeah, nice job there running the floor. Talked about how Mascuda did a lot of that in the first game. Carnahan able to do it there, and nice up and under move. Give the K-Hawks their first lead.
Stanley Carnahan, perfect 4 for 4 of the year for the K-Hawks. Only K-Hawk player that has taken every shot and made it. Here's Franklin from the top of the key. That's good. And he had a 20-point game last year, not against Collinsville, but maybe just a sign of things to come, as Antoine Franklin Jr. looks to be the focal point of the Phoenix offense.
Yeah, as they'll see, look to make a sub right away.
Reynolds on the outside, inside to Chambers. He had 20 points against Heron, and that's his first bucket of the night tonight. And I tell you what, there's not many guys in this tournament or in this tip-off classic that are going to be able to go up size for size, length for length against a guy like Zach Chambers.
I don't know that there's a lot of guys in the area at all. Phoenix with the basketball.
Oh, and look, a great cut by Brian Mann. He's up for good for two. Brian Mann, the 6'1", 170 point guard junior. Apparently, looking at him a little bit earlier, he was a big Kyrie Irving fan. Kyrie Irving doesn't make a lot of back cuts like that, but he did right there. He's got his first two of the night. Here's Weisinger. He'll go from straightaway three. It's good for Jamori Weisinger.
Yeah, Jamori shot the ball really well down in Heron the other night in the bit of an unfamiliar shooting environment, the bowl down there at Memorial Gym, and obviously back home at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, and it's like he never left.
Not a lot of missed shots here so far for either team, as that's going to find Franklin. Oh, he just pulled up and turned around and put it in the hoop. My goodness, Antoine Franklin Jr. has started off hotter than anybody tonight. He's got, I believe, that's 5.
Yep, that is 5 for him, and yeah, very few stoppages so far, about halfway through.
I actually think they got that wrong. I believe that's 7 points for Antoine Franklin Jr. They got a Carnahan on the weak side. Reynolds up top. Distance it to Carnahan. No look pass. Now Carnahan looking for options. Tried to throw it towards the middle. That found Reynolds. He was intending it to go to Nick Horace. Now it's Carnahan on the other elbow. To Weisinger. Pull-up jumper. And he makes it again. Jamori Weisinger was second on the team last year in scoring with 14.2 points per game. And I think an early indication would be that he'll lead the Coyotes in scoring this year.
Yeah, obviously, pretty balanced effort against Heron, but you figure that Jamori and Zach are going to be the main guys.
Ball stripped from Franklin. Here's Carnahan, and Coyotes going to try to run here with Weisinger on the far side. Now it's Reynolds, and I think they're going to pull up here and just get ready for the offense to begin. Here's Carnahan, just inside the three-point line, inside to Chambers, off the rim, but he got his own rebound, put it up, and the foul. Zach Chambers may have missed the first bunny, but he didn't miss the second, and Collinsville have their largest lead of the first quarter, 13-9.
Yeah, foul, which is actually the first one of the game, I believe will be on Carlo Nelson.
First substitute of the game for Collinsville, it's the sophomore Tyree Brister, who is a big defensive and just emotionally charged player, Tyree Brister. I tell you what, when I look at him and watch him play, he reminds me a lot of Kawan Smith, who graduated from that great class in 2020.
Yeah, obviously that was the original the first comparison I came up with, as Jackson Harris and Calvin Nelson come into the game for the Phoenix, and it's Nelson with the ball now.
And Nelson will go deep from 3 off the left side of the rim. Carnahan's got the rebound. Brister will push now to Horace, who's got it in space up towards Chambers. Chambers will go up with it. He swatted away. What a block at the rim. Not many people block Zach Chambers, but goodness me, Jackson Harris just did, the 6'6" center who just checked into the game for the Phoenix.
Yeah, giving up a little bit of size, but he's going to go right at Chambers and probably relishing the challenge that, guarding a big 6'9" guy like Chambers will.
Nelson switches to Brister. Now Weisinger in the corner. He's got such poise with the basketball, Jamori Weisinger, the senior. Nice little crossover move. Tried to get it inside to Carnahan. Middle of a loose ball there, but Carnahan corrals it, trying to go around his arms for a shot to Horace for 3. That's missed, and Franklin will corral the rebound. He'll look to push and then stop up. 13-9, K-Hawks lead the Miller Career Academy Phoenix, a team that they lost to last season. Here's Nelson. Outside. This is Brian Mann for 3. Another bucket for Brian Mann, and the lead is cut to 1.
Yeah, Miller Career come out, obviously lost the large, as Antoine Franklin, really the one guy that got any significant action last year, but Coach Brandon Wright has come in and, pretty much the same expectations as that'll be on the floor.
And we've got an injured player here. That's Brian Mann, who just made the three-pointer. Nick Horace, that ball is going to be on the ground. Nick Horace saw what was happening on the far side. He was trying to see what happened. Man gets up in a hurry, and the fans applaud him off. Just want to make sure that isn't a concussion or anything. He just went off the back, and sometimes, Horace had the ball. He was able to go. He could have gone up with it if he wanted to, but decided to try to ball fake. Still a foul on Brian Mann, and he'll end up going to the bench there, but a dangerous play nonetheless.
They'll bring Johnson back in to replace him, and he'll take the task of guarding Weisinger.
Carnahan open on the left post, now left to turn. Hook shot no good. That's his first miss of the season, Stanley Carnahan. Then he tries to chase the rebound from Nelson, and he's able to get it out. Now it's Christian Johnson. He'll go down the right side, throw it to nobody, and Horace can run with it here. Gets it towards Carnahan on the left side. Carnahan, little crossover move there, outside to Horace, now inside to Chambers. Chambers trying to find an open man. It'll find Brister, back into Chambers. They'll be looking to use that all day long. Horace's floater is short, but Carnahan is going to be able to corral the rebound. K-Hawks doing well on the boards, somewhere that they struggled last year against Miller Career Academy. Brister on the outside. There's Horace for an open corner three. It's no good. Rebound comes to Frank. A great play there by Brister. That's the defensive intensity that he could bring, and Weisinger's three-pointer is off, but it's going to fall to Carnahan. 2 points for the K-Hawks that start all the way from the sophomore, Tyree Brister, and Brandon Wright believes that was a big enough play where he'll call timeout with 1:34 to go in the first quarter. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll just stay right here for just a moment. How about Tyree Brister right there making a huge defensive play?
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that Tyree does. He's just going to get after it. Collinsville native originally, attended DeSmet Jesuit High School over in St. Louis last year, but back here and able to become a contributor almost immediately for Darren Lee and this K-Hawk squad. Has got a solid crowd on hand here, pretty good student section. I believe it is PJ night. That's the theme that they're going with. As looks like Evan Wilkinson will.
Well, it's
go
cold outside, Zach.
Yeah, it is.
Evan Wilkinson, the brother of Collinsville graduate, the player that led the K-Hawks in scoring last year by the name of Jake Wilkinson. It'll be his first varsity action for the K-Hawks here tonight.
Yeah, got some, came off the bench in that game against Heron, but I believe had a bucket. So we'll see what he's able to do here against this Phoenix squad, which actually kind of like those uniforms, the navy blue and Vegas gold with some white trim. It's solid aesthetic and pretty easy to pick up for us on the broadcasting front, which is not something that you see all the time. Nice trap in the middle there, but either Brister or Wilkinson will get the call on the foul. Let's see where the referee goes to the scorer's table and puts the foul on. I think it'll be, well, Evan Wilkinson, and it'll be his first. A close, strong first quarter. K-Hawks really haven't been able to get away from Miller Career Academy here. They've kept it close. This is Christian Johnson over to Calvin Nelson. There's Jackson Harris outside to Johnson. And Johnson just takes a step. Now a pull up over Chambers and sinks it. That was as true as it can get. Christian Johnson's first buckets of this season. He played over in Indiana alongside Jackson Hayes at a tournament earlier this season, or an AAU tournament earlier this summer. Now it's Horace. Top of the key inside to Weisinger. A little bit of a shove pulled up, and it's good for Jamori. He's going to make that every single time you give it to him, and the K-Hawks lead by 3 with under a minute to play. Yeah, Weisinger up to 7 points, and it's been, you know, just kind of a good thing so far. K-Hawks not able to pull away, but just kind of holding station, which is what you want. Here's Calvin Nelson, took a step and then hoisted a 3 off the backboard and no good. Now Brister will look to charge forward for the ball with the K-Hawks. Here's Evan Wilkinson. He'll be urged to shoot. Missed it. Chambers gets the rebound tip. No over the back call there. Now it's Wilkinson over to Weisinger. He'll pull for the 3. That's a deep one, and it sinks. Jamori Weisinger with 10 points in the first frame, and the K-Hawks lead by 6 with 15 seconds to play in the first frame. Yeah, and get some applause there from Zach Chambers' older brother, 2021 graduate Josh Chambers here in the building. Ball stolen away by Brister with 2 seconds to play. He'll try to put it up at the end of the horn. It's good. A strong end to the first quarter by the Collinsville K-Hawks, capped by a bucket from Tyree Brister, and the K-Hawks race out to an 8-point lead, 22-14 over the Miller Career Academy Phoenix. Well, what a breathtaking, a nice offensively strong first quarter, and we'll be back with the second frame of tonight's home season opener from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. After one, it's 22-14 K-Hawks. You're listening to K-Hawk basketball on the K-Hawk Broadcast
Plumbing or electrical problems? Is your AC or heater on the fritz? There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background-checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Services. We earn our stripes every day.
Back with you here, 22-14, K-Hawks lead the Miller Career Academy Phoenix. who gave the K-Hawks one of their only 3 home losses of the year last year, but K-Hawks wanted to make sure that deja vu does not strike here tonight, and Jamori Weisinger has been the offensive output for the K-Hawks so far. 10 points, and I think he's only missed 1 shot. He missed that 3 in the left wing late in the first quarter. Zach, you've been impressed with Jamori so far?
Yeah, I mean, he's just, pretty much doing a lot of the same things that he's done last year, just, being able to get to the rim, shot the ball extremely well. I mean, he's done everything that really has been asked of him, and he didn't really struggle a whole lot against Heron, and hasn't struggled too much here against Miller Career either.
Yep, and Jamori Weisinger, people may remember, K-Hawk fans, that when the K-Hawks lost to Miller Career Academy last year, as Nelson's able to pick it up, Weisinger missed some key free throws as right at the end of the game, K-Hawks were down 3. And Jamori Weisinger had a chance with 3 free throws to tie the game in overtime. He missed the first one, which meant that he had to try to miss the third one, and he wasn't able to do so. Franklin goes inside, tried to go strong into the game now as Solomon Talbot for the K-Hawks, the 6'10 center, the tallest player we'll see at the Collinsville Tip-Off Classic this year. And after that rebound, after a little bit of a scramble there, the Phoenix are called for a foul. That's going to be the first one on Calvin Nelson, the freshman.
Yeah, he is a freshman, one of handful of freshmen on this Miller Career Academy roster, only one that's gotten in so far. And he's done well so far, and he's guarding Tyree Brister now.
Yeah, underclassmen versus underclassmen there. Now Horace right at the free throw line on the outside to Weisinger. Took a little shot fake over Johnson, and he's got another one, Jamori Weisinger. He just looks like it's business day for Jamori Weisinger. He's hit everything he feels like he's shot tonight. Now it's Nelson going down the floor. He misses. And maybe an opportunity here for Collinsville to stretch out this lead and put Miller Career Academy in a bit of a hole as Johnson puts up a 3. What an answer there from Johnson as he missed the defensive assignment on Weisinger on his 3. Back to an 8-point game.
Yeah, just Phoenix has shot the ball quite well from the outside and, not really letting the K-Hawks pull away too much.
Now it's Talbot on the inside. Layup no good. He'll get the ball back, though, right under the rim. Threw it up again with his left hand and couldn't get it to go. Now Brian Mann will look to push the pace. Oh, and hit the referee on the near side, on the near side. And the referee was out of bounds as the pass was looking to go to Calvin Nelson and just never really registered. And so the K-Hawks will get possession back.
Yeah, Chase Reynolds back in for the K-Hawks. He'll replace Brister as Carlon Nelson and Harris come back in for the Phoenix.
Talbot on the outside. You rarely see that. 6'10 player coached by Darren Lee heading on the outside of the paint in an offensive setup, but now he's back inside. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Jamori Weisinger may have walked there. It doesn't matter. He threw it away anyways, and the Phoenix will get the basketball back. Zach Chambers sits now alongside Brister and Wilkinson. So the 5 out there for the K-Hawks now are Reynolds, Weisinger, Carnahan, Horace, and Talbot. So the only non-starter out there is Solomon. Yep. This is Calvin Nelson, guarded closely by Chase Reynolds, who had a little bit of time as a backup quarterback and a wide receiver this year for Collinsville's football team that had a strong year. Here's a 3 from Franklin Jr. No good. And Carnahan will hoist the rebound for the K-Hawks and give it to the man who has been as offensively potent as he really has ever been, Jamori Weisinger. Carnahan, found Horace well. Shot fake from Horace, a little pull-up jumper, no good. Just rolled off the rim. Let's see who the referees give the ball to there. It'll go towards the Phoenix's way with 5:33 to go here in this second quarter.
Yeah, rolled off of the arm of Carnahan. They were unable to corral it. Chambers will come back in for Talbot.
So now the starting 5 back out there for Collinsville. Jamori Weisinger leads the team with 13 points. Long pass just brought down by Christian Johnson. Now he'll step into a 3. No good. And Jackson Harris fought for the rebound. He did enough to keep possession there for Miller Career.
Yep. Yeah, Coach, solid crowd filing in. Looks like Riverview Gardens heading out. Mentioned that already. Inbound coming in for the Phoenix to Franklin.
Here's Franklin Jr. This time he moves left. Blocked away by Chambers, and he'll grab the rebound here. Just keep it up high. Now he's got Horace. Carlin Nelson wasn't able to get the steal, so now Horace will go up with his left hand and soar in to score. Offense turning into defense there for the K-Hawks, and for the first time tonight, they've got a double-digit lead. Yeah. Actually, for the second time tonight.
Yeah, K-Hawks just doing, done everything pretty darn well so far.
Here's Calvin Nelson. Oh, a little turnaround play there, but Chambers was right in his face. That left Franklin Jr. open to get the rebound and put it in for second chance points. That's something that Miller Career did really well last year when these two teams played. It's one of the reasons why they beat the Collinsville Jayhawks on their own floor. Weisinger, top of the key now. Tough defense from Christian Johnson, this junior. Now it's up to Carnahan in the corner. Horace. Another shot fake. Boy, he's used that a lot tonight, Horace, and it gives him an open elbow jumper. That shot fake's about as good as I've ever seen it from Nick Horace. Jayhawks lead by 10 again.
Yeah, just ultra smooth, almost
deceptive. Yeah, that's a great word for it.
Yeah, kind of a deceptively athletic guy, Nick. I don't think he's ever done it in a game, but I've heard tale that he's put a couple of down in practice, so we'll see. Three-pointer, no good.
Oh, and Nick Horace thought someone else was going to get the rebound, so it fell into Brian Mann. Coach Lee not happy about that. That's an easy two that the Jayhawks don't want to give up. Miller Career will look to put in 2 subs at the next opportunity. Not a lot of stoppages here in this second quarter. Here comes Nick Horace right down the middle of the paint. Now Carnahan open on the corner, no good. Zach Chambers has got the rebound in there, missed it though, but Carnahan's back in there to clean up the mess.
Yeah, I mean, when you can go 6'9", 6'6" up front, that's going to be, that's hard to guard, but Coach Wright.
Yeah, another timeout there for Coach Wright, and if it's for anything for Miller Career Academy, it's just a little bit of a break as we've had a lot of time here gone through in the second quarter without a stoppage. Jayhawks lead by 10. We'll be back here in a moment on the Jayhawk Broadcasting Club Network with more second quarter action from the Collinsville-Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic.
Looking for a great place to watch the game with your crew? Look no further than the Lucky Fox Sports Bar in Uptown Collinsville. The Lucky Fox shows Collinsville Jayhawks sports on the big screen, plus UFC fights, boxing, Cardinals and Blues, and all of the NFL games with the NFL ticket and enough TVs, you'll be sure to find the game you want. And the food? How about Taco Tuesdays, Wing Wednesdays, plus burgers and sandwiches, pizza, steak, and more, including great drink specials and the coldest beer in town. Plus, they have an in-house DJ on Friday and Saturday nights. Dine in and catch a game or order carry-out with the Lucky Fox. The Lucky Fox Sports Bar, 118 East Main Street in Uptown Collinsville. Open daily at 11 a.m. Check out the Lucky Fox Facebook page for daily specials. The Lucky Fox, 618-223-1948.
Want to remind you guys as we come back here on the Jayhawk Broadcasting Club, 4 more games for you tomorrow on the Jayhawk Broadcasting Club Network. 2 for the Jayhawks. Jayhawks will play at 12:30 against Riverview Gardens and then complete this little tip-off round-robin classic for them with a 7 o'clock meeting against the Mascoutah Indians, who won big in the first game tonight over Riverview Gardens, 68-21, a rout in game 1 tonight. So we'll have to see if they'll look to do the same against the Jayhawks tomorrow. Oh, good pressure defense from Brister. He picks up the ball. Now it comes to Horace, and he'll just lay it up for 2. You were thinking that he was probably going to dunk it. I got excited, too, because I thought Horace may try to slam it down, but he'll go for the easy 2. Jayhawks up 12.
Yeah, nice job there. Brister just doing what Brister does best. The Quan Smith comparison really does remind me of the kid that we called Skeet back, played at Rend Lake College. Not sure if he
I think he tried to do something with SIUE. I'm not sure if it quite worked out, but, Quan Smith will always be remembered as a real legend here in these part of town as Brian Mann is called for a travel here. Talked about the head coach for Collinsville, Darren Lee, in his 15th year. 717 wins for the really head coaching legend, 311 losses. This is his third it's interesting to say, he's the 4th head coach for Collinsville since the great Virgil Fletcher retired, as Calvin Nelson, the freshman's able to bring in the steal. Now it's Mann, who had a tough layup to go for when Tyree Brister tried to track back. Now the Jayhawks will go the other way with it. Horace tried to go through, may have been a foul in there. Now 2 Miller Career Academy players on the floor trying to bring it. It'll be a jump ball there, Zach. What do you make of that? A little bit of a stretch there. Kind of chaotic.
Yeah, a bit of a hectic sequence there. Jump ball possession will go to the Jayhawks as Weisinger will quickly come back in as he will replace Reynolds. Kind of interesting with the backcourt pairing Weisinger and Brister together. That should be kind of a lot of speed up there at the top of the Jayhawk defense.
Weisinger ball fake on the corner. Another ball fake from Weisinger. Great work from the Canucks. They're using the shot fake to their advantage, really. With 2 minutes to play, the Canucks can look to try to stretch this lead out a little bit more. Again, up 12 where they've been for a majority of the second quarter. There's a steal by Weisinger. His teammate from Miller Career Academy wasn't even looking. The lob to Weisinger. He almost dunked at him. We'll look at it. I don't think that's necessarily a dunk, but it puts the Canucks up 14 with 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, another guy that I've heard tell that if given enough space he can, and obviously they wouldn't try something like that near steal there.
There's a jump shot for Miller Career Academy. That's short. Scramble in there. Man's going to come out of it with the ball. Now it's Calvin Nelson. Pass fake. Three-pointer. No good. Then it's pass to Franklin in the middle. He couldn't get it to go. Nothing's fallen for Miller Career Academy right now. Now there's a baseline jumper that does fall for Michael Walker, who is also a track athlete. Michael Walker got the long hair too, kind of looking like a 2000s college basketball player, if you ask me.
There you go. That's a nice deep cut reference there. Three-throw line jumper from Horace, good.
And that's the best thing about this Collinsville Jayhawks basketball team is that when you give them open shots, they just seem to knock them down at will. They're so smooth in their shooting, Collinsville, with Nick Horace and Jamori Weisinger. There's Walker for three. That's no good. Carnahan couldn't quite grab the rebound all the way, but now he does. And with a minute to play, we'll see if Collinsville wants to push here. They'll have to get a shot off with the shot clock in play in today's game. Horace for another three. No good. Rebound tipped out. Now Man's got a 2-on-1 the other way. Nick Horace comes back to defend him. Now he goes up. Offensive foul. Jamori Weisinger doing it on the defensive end, Zach Roseman.
Yeah, I mean, just able to hustle over. Evan Wilkinson will come in, sub in for the Phoenix as well. That is Christian Johnson back in.
Collinsville Jayhawks have 39 points. Zach Roseman, I'll say that Jamori Weisinger and Nick Horace have combined for 27 of those 39 points and almost a quiet 17 points for Jamori Weisinger on the first half. He's on track above 30 points in tonight's game as there's 32 seconds left. 8 seconds separate shot clock and game clock here for Collinsville. They'll have to get a shot off before the half.
Phoenix go, well, I thought for a second they went to a 2-3 zone look, but back into man-to-man now.
Here's Brister, who goes inside, throws one up. It's going, count the bucket and the foul for Tyree Brister. No.
On the floor.
Let's see, it's on the floor. That was a beautiful shot. Should have deserved the and one there, Tyree Brister. It's going to be a foul that'll go on the floor. I stand corrected. Bucket doesn't count. Jayhawks still lead by 14 here in the second half. Man, that was an aggressive play. Got to the rim and almost, he put in a beautiful bucket. Again, I think he deserved it.
Yep. Foul on Rashad Butler, another freshman into the game for the Phoenix. So
here's Weisinger. He has 17 points. Now he'll look for more with 10 to play.
Can hold for one here, the Jayhawks.
5 seconds to go in the first half. Weisinger lost the ball. He's not going to be able to get a shot up. And at the end of the first half, the Jayhawks may not have got what they wanted in the last possession, but they have played a pretty offensively complete first half. 39-25, Jamori Weisinger, 17 points. That's the most he's had this season so far. Nick Horace chips in with 10 for the Jayhawks, and Collinsville looking pretty strong in their first half here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium of this season. We'll take a quick break. We'll tell you about a little bit about this half when we come back here on the Jayhawk Broadcasting Club after a word from our sponsors.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside.
First National Bank of Waterloo, with over 100 years serving the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo at their Maryville and Collinsville locations, and now in Marissa, St. Laborie, and New Athens for all of your banking, mortgage, and lending needs with super low closing costs and low construction loan rates. When you need a loan, call the Collinsville team at First National Bank of Waterloo at 618-345-1121 or Visit their Maryville or Collinsville locations or online at fnbwaterloo.bank. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Schaefer Excavating and Demolition in Pontoon Beach provides complete commercial, industrial, and residential demolition and excavating services. Schaefer Excavating and Demolition is family-owned and operated by former K-Hawks since 1980 and have over 4 decades serving the Metro East. Schaefer Excavating and Demolition is your choice for quality and experienced work at a reasonable price. Schaefer's does jobs of any size, whether digging for water and sewer lines, site preparation, or building demolition. Schaefer's can do it all. Schaefer's Excavating and Demolition also sells backfill, topsoil, loam, and other materials. Licensed, bonded, and insured, from earth moving and land clearing to building and demolition and road construction to septic and sewer system work. Call the experienced crew at Schaefer Excavating and Demolition, 618-931-6237. Are you in need of a new mailbox to go with your new home? How about a new mailbox to replace your old one? Look no further than Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes in Collinsville. From economy to custom, Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes can create a mailbox that suits your needs. Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes is licensed and insured. They use only high-quality materials and offer a satisfaction guarantee policy. Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes can also make your very own axe throwing set, hanging or standing. Whether you need that axe throwing set or a new mailbox, you need Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes in Collinsville. For more information, get a hold of Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes at 618-680-0208 or online at needanewmailbox.com.
Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipStLouis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884.
Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville produces their own spirits and beer on site, right at the restaurant. Pair that with some of the most unique menu items around the entire metro area, and you can see why they are such a hit. They can handle you and your family, or they can handle you and your group. Throw in the occasional live entertainment, and you can see why Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is a must-stop destination in Collinsville. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville, 618-855-8027 or online at oldheraldbrewing.com.
Looking for good food, good times, and good people? Look no further than the Bridge Inn in Caseyville. Just over the bridge from the K-Hawk Stadium, Bridge Inn features a friendly and courteous staff that serves up the coldest drinks and the best food in the Metro East. Lunch and dinner is available daily with a breakfast menu every Saturdays and Sunday morning. And don't forget about fantastic fish fry Fridays. Bridge Inn also features pool tournaments on most weekends and a gaming area for the over 21 crowd. Bridge Inn in Caseyville. Check them out at 519 North Main Street in Caseyville. Call for carryout orders at 618-344-3530. The best is yet to come at the Bridge Inn in Caseyville. 618-344-3530.
Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Lottie's Cafe offers food, cocktails, and gaming in a great atmosphere highlighted by fast and friendly service. Lottie's Cafe also offers a unique menu that features soups and salads, sandwiches and paninis, pizza and flatbreads, appetizers and desserts, as well as breakfast. That's right, we said breakfast. Unique breakfast items such as a breakfast stromboli, a breakfast BLT, and breakfast burritos. Lottie's also offers creative cocktails, a wine bar, the coldest beer around, and a video gaming area for those 21 and older. And don't forget the Lottie's Cafe gift certificates. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Check them out online at lottiescafe.com, on Facebook, or in person in the Strip next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market. Or call Lottie's Cafe at 618-223-8256. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our K-Hawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a K-Hawk, always a K-Hawk. Hashtag K-Hawk Family.
The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KHawkSports.com and the K-Hawk Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org.
Halftime here in Collinsville, 39-25 the score. Thank you to everybody for kind of switching your normal viewing schedule of K-Hawk Athletics as we're giving you these the Collinsville Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic here live from the K-Hawk Broadcasting Club Network. My name is Matt Clark. I'm joined along by Zach Roseman. 3 minutes to go before these two teams will get a second half going here. And Zach Roseman, if you had to grade that first half for the K-Hawks, their first half, or their first half of the year at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, what would your grade be as a or not as a college basketball fan, but just a basketball fan in general?
Realistically, I think that you would probably give it, I don't think anybody, it's hard to say much. Maybe a couple too many turnovers, so, definitely an A. You got a 14-point lead. You've shot the ball incredibly well. Not too many mistakes in regards to defensive lapses. Obviously a handful of small things that I'm sure Coach Lee will want the guys to improve upon, but you can't really ask for a whole lot better in your home opener.
Yep, for sure. On the Miller Career Academy side, obviously we talked about the fact that the K-Hawks are led by Jamori Weisinger, who leads all scorers with 17. Nick Horace has 10 points. I believe 6 or 7 of those came in the second quarter. For the Phoenix, no players in double figures so far. The two leading scorers for the Phoenix, Antoine Franklin Jr. and Brian Mann, who would seem to be the two main players for Miller Career Academy. Zach, last year they really won the game over Collinsville because they were able to get second and third chance opportunities right at the rim when, over a Collinsville team that had some length, and they kind of were able to just find a way to get to the rim and get second chance opportunities via offensive rebounds. Is that what they need to do in the second half in order to help them, in order to get into a better rhythm, or is there something else that Miller Career Academy need to do to get back into this game?
In the long run, I feel like that's probably the Suns Bowl thing. They've been able to do that to a point in regards to getting, second and third opportunities. Obviously, that's kind of a stylistic thing that you see with a lot of schools in the Public High League, a lot of schools in that general region. They're going to want to get up and down, crash the boards hard. Obviously, we've seen the success that teams like Vashon have had, and that Miller Career have been able to have as well. Obviously, unfortunately, running into Vashon, being a school of that size in that area. But, they've still had success. Coach Wright's been able to come in and, kind of establish that sort of identity that, that's worked well for them, as they'll have their final huddles before. And, realistically, I think just a couple of small things. I think the big thing for Miller Career Academy is honestly just hoping that Collins will cool off a little.
Yeah, for sure. And the K-Hawks on pace for almost 80 points here in the first half. Obviously, Weisinger with 17. And, Weisinger with 17, Horace with 10. Is there anybody else on Collinsville that's necessarily impressed you here as we get started for the second, as we get ready for the second half?
Honestly, Stanley Carnahan has, impressed me. He's run the floor well. He's, just kind of provided. He's been a good safety valve because obviously Zach Chambers has been the focus. Miller Career, we've seen double, even triple teams on Chambers, and just to be that post safety valve, to be able to, in a way almost kind of fill the role that Miles Entekop did for Mascoutah in the last game. Just, be able to clear out loose rebounds, just get offensive rebounds, get a couple of buckets here and there, play solid defense, and I think he's done that job very well.
we begin the third quarter here. Jayhawks lead by 14. They'll be hoping the Miller Career Academy doesn't make a huge comeback. There's Franklin Jr., who's trying to cut into the lead immediately. 7 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter, and he's sunk one in to make it a 12-point game. That's up to 11 points for Franklin Jr., who is a senior. Here's Reynolds, top of the key for Collinsville. Tries to turn around on Carlin Nelson. Now it's outside to Horace, looking for Chambers inside. He was open, he had the post, puts it up with the left hand, and puts it through. Might be a point of emphasis for Collinsville to use their height advantage, especially inside, and gets Chambers some more touches. That's only points 5 and 6 for him on the night.
Yeah, Zach's done a tremendous job of just get it to him up high, back to the basket. Nice take there from Johnson, but turned the ball over.
Here's Carnahan. He almost turns the ball over there. Yep, just a loose ball that entire possession from both floors, or both sides of the floor, and it'll end up being Miller career ball. Maybe both teams just hoping to slow things down just a tad.
Yeah, obviously, the shot clock, and I really haven't noticed it. I mean, really none of the teams in this tournament are particularly deliberate in terms of their offensive pacing. Another three from God.
My goodness. Antoine Franklin Jr. with a hand in his face just drilled it, and the lead down to 11. He is a shot maker. He does it all, but really his offensive production for Miller Career Academy is what's most impressive. Here's the offensive rebound by Chambers, puts it up, no foul called, and Calvin Nelson, that's Michael Walker who just scrambles down to make the play. Now Franklin will drive inside, kick out, three-pointer for Johnson, no good. Rebound comes to Walker though. Now Franklin will have a chance at a three. It's good, and the lead is cut to single digits here early in the third quarter. You talk about coming out of the half strong. That's what Miller Career Academy are doing right now. Inside to Chambers. Now it's back out to Horace. Ball fake once again, perfect. A mid-range for Horace, no good. Rebound just falls out of the reach of Chambers, and now Miller Career Academy can push into it more. Here's Brian Mann outside. This is Calvin Nelson for three, and he's got it.
Carlon Nelson.
My goodness. Yeah, go ahead, Zach. The lead cut to 5 here in a flash.
Yeah, nearly, just Brian Mann and the seas parted, took it, almost took it coast to coast. Now the Miller Career, handful of Miller Career fans, Miller Career bench here, and Coach Lee will call timeout. Coach
Lee not happy here. The 14-point lead has been evaporated. I believe it's an 11-2 run for Miller Career Academy. They have exploded here early in the third quarter. Collinsville still has the lead, and we'll be back with more third quarter action in just a moment here on the Jayhawk Broadcasting Club Network.
No one likes a dirty house. It's work that almost no one wants to do. Why not get someone to do that work for you? Kara Gray with Rags to Riches Cleaning Service would love to take that task off your to-do list. Kara is a homegrown Collinsville High School graduate and the owner of Rags to Riches. From floors to ceilings, from baseboards to light fixtures, Rags to Riches can clean them all. No job is too big or too small. Call Kara Gray at Rags to Riches Cleaning Service to schedule a free estimate today at 618-979-9634 or visit Rags to Riches Cleaning Service on Facebook.
Zach Chambers, the first bit of adversity that the Collinsville Jayhawks have faced all season so far in game number 2 of their year. Down up 41-36 over Miller Career Academy, but the Phoenix have come out of the second half, or out of the half, hot. I believe they made all but one of their shots, and with 5:44 to go, we've got a game on our hands.
Yeah, able to cut the deficit down to 5, and Miller Career not really going away, and they've come out and shot the ball really well. Antoine Franklin in particular, 6'4" senior, like I mentioned, really the lone contributor from last year's squad back for Miller Career, but he's come in and he's basically taking the time as Chambers kind of with a jump pass in.
And scramble there, it's going to come to Michael Walker. Franklin Jr.'s up to 17 points on the day. He's got the ball again here. Tried the cross-court pass, tipped by Chambers. It's going to find Carlin Nelson. Now there's a scramble for it on the floor. And I think they're going to get Chase Reynolds, on a kick ball violation, so it's going to be Collinsville ball. Referee calls a kick ball. That's what I believe it was. Let's see if they change the call. Oh, that's going to be a kick ball on Collinsville, so Miller Career will get it on the baseline.
Yeah, Reynolds just kind of toe poked it there as Phoenix will have the inbound.
Franklin Jr. drives right, tried to step back. Shot is no good there. It felt like it was going to go in, given that he's been making everything tonight. Horace, shot fake, inside, stolen away as Nelson's able to get back on the far side. Here's Franklin. Collinsville's got to get numbers back here. And a jumper for Michael Walker at the free throw line, no good. And Reynolds will grab the rebound. Now Collinsville could push as Franklin Jr. fell to the floor. Collinsville's got to get Weisinger more involved. He hasn't had many touches in this half. Puts up with a right-hand floater though, and as I said, almost a commentator's curse there. A much-needed basket for the K-Hawks. They extend their lead to 7.
Yeah, Weisinger up to 19 now, and like you said, just needed to, probably Miller Career going to try and defensively focus on him, and now almost a double team on Franklin,
Yeah, man tried to go up there. No foul called on Chambers. Great pass from Reynolds, and Horace restores order there for Collinsville. Nice job out of the timeout for the K-Hawks. We will bring in Brister on the next opportunity. But just like you talked about, the first adversity that the K-Hawks have faced, it looks like they're handling it pretty well here in the third quarter, about halfway through it.
Yep. Yeah, not really, didn't really have to worry too much in that Heron game. Three-pointer from Johnson, good.
And if you leave varsity players open from 3, they're almost bound to make it. Lead back down to 6. So now the adversity comes back for Collinsville. Miller Career Academy fans making noise right behind the Phoenix bench. Carnahan. Left-handed dribble. Horace, nice shot fake. He'll go up with it, fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Foul will go on Michael Walker. We haven't seen a lot of whistle blows or blows of the whistle tonight from either side, but
yeah, I think it's
referees have to get involved there.
Yep, foul on Man. That's his 3rd, so see a little bit of concern there for Coach Wright and company, especially if he picks up his 4th, because Man with 9 points, he's kind of been the second option for this Phoenix squad. Horace to shoot some free throws now.
Christian Johnson also has 8. There's Horace. His first free throw is no good.
Brister in for Chambers as Harris and Calvin Nelson, I think, come in for the Phoenix.
Yep, that'll be Calvin Nelson coming in for Carlin Nelson. Not sure if they're related. Nick Horace had 15 points against Miller Career Academy the last time these two teams played in February of 2023, where the Phoenix shocked the K-Hawks. Horace goes 0 for 2. That's uncharacteristic from him. And now here's the freshman Calvin Nelson. He passes it inside to Harris. Fouled. He'll go to the line. Couldn't get the finish to go. So now it's a little bit more stop-start here as the referees have to get involved with a couple of foul calls. Jackson Harris will shoot his first free throws of the season. I think the first free throws for Miller Career Academy this year.
Yeah, foul on Carnahan as 2 shots for Harris, and
it was a 14-point lead at halftime for Collinsville. Miller Career have cut that to 5, and now to 5 with the make from Jackson Harris. Harris played in the JV game of this team of this year last year. I'm not sure who won that game, but I know he played in the JV game. But now he's getting varsity experience against a team, Zach, that has been very highly rated. Coach Lee was having a conversation with some of the media down in Heron. He was comparing this team a little bit just to the fact that they could go as deep potentially as the 2020 team that could have won a state championship had this tournament not been canceled due to COVID-19.
Yeah, obviously that was an extremely talented group, and I don't know if this group quite has that capability, but it's a talented squad. I mean, like we mentioned earlier, highly touted in the preseason. Nice pass there from Reynolds.
Shot is short from Carnahan. This is as close as it's been since early in the second quarter. Now down court to Harris. He'll stop in his tracks. Now a little bit of a scramble there, and Brister beats off the pieces, and he's got it towards Horace down the court. Nick Horace will lay it up and in. He always tries to fake us out, Zach Roseman. Gets the easy 2, and Collinsville turning defense into offense once again. That's been their best offense of the year so far.
Yeah, Horace up to 14 now, and Brister doing what Brister does, causing some disruption. Pass out there now to Elijah Thomas into the game.
First points for Elijah Thomas as the bucket is given back. And folks, we are in for potentially a very interesting fourth quarter here. There's 2 minutes and 49 seconds here in the third quarter. We'll see what happens. The K-Hawks lead all but gone. Brister turns the corner, tried to dish it in. It's stolen away by Franklin. Now he'll push the pace. This is Calvin Nelson. And a nice tip there by Horace. He's able to keep it in bounds.
He'll bring it up there.
Kept Elijah Thomas off the score sheet there. Horace trying to do it all himself here. And that's a great one-on-one move by Nick Horace. And if Weisinger isn't getting the ball and not able to score, well, Nick Horace can kind of do what he does in terms of scoring and strong with strong high-level plays.
Yeah, Nick's scored a bit more as a sophomore, getting some pretty significant playing time, as we'll have a foul there on Johnson.
Christian Johnson picks up his first foul today. The only player from either team that is in any foul trouble is Brian Mann. He's got 3 fouls for Miller Career Academy and has had to sit for the majority of this third quarter. As Thomas is and Calvin Nelson is back in, Carlin Nelson is back in for Miller Career Academy. He'll guard Weisinger there. He's got the sports goggles on. I love it because I used to play with sports goggles. Here's Tyree Brister against Calvin Nelson. This little crossover there. Now he'll drive towards the right side. Little screen from Horace. Inside to Weisinger. Outside. This is Evan Wilkinson for 3. Bang! Huge 3 from Evan Wilkinson. 9-point lead for the K-Hawks. Just what they needed in a stop-start and a little bit of a sputter in the third quarter. Wilkinson's got the hit.
Yeah, nice job there from Evan. Comes off the bench. Only had 2 points in that game against Heron, so obviously his biggest total for this year. Didn't get a ton of varsity playing time last year. That might have been a travel, but
doesn't matter. Brister comes away with the basketball here. He's charging up the floor. Here's another open 3 from Weisinger. Got it to go, and the K-Hawks 6 quick points to put up a 12-point lead. And that's what this highly potent offense could do. Jamori Weisinger has 22 points.
And that's got the lead back out to 12 now, which is as large as it's been for a while. See what the Phoenix are able to do to respond.
Calvin Nelson down the lane. Shot no good. Chambers got the rebound, and Collinsville not able to get a lot of, or the Phoenix not able to get a lot of second chance opportunities. Here's Carlin Nelson, stripped again. Now he puts it up, still no good. Wilkinson unable to get the ball, but now here comes Chambers, and now towards Brister on the fast break. Brister will go up alone, put his body into it, didn't get the foul, but got the bucket anyways, and the K-Hawks have their lead back up to 14, where it started at the beginning of the third quarter. Nelson, Franklin Jr. for 3. Good, and a big 3 for Miller Career Academy. I mean, they took the lead, they got the lead. K-Hawks got the lead back up, and Franklin's got 20 points now, so for Collinsville, they'll have to stop him and stop him having opportunities at open shots. 15 seconds to go. Horace against Antoine Franklin Jr. They'll drive right, fadeaway jumper from Horace, good! Collinsville make their last 3 shots of the quarter and put their lead back in safe hands. This one's good if it goes. It's off the backboard. And after the lead got cut to 4 for Collinsville, they're able to stretch it back up. They're up 59-46 in their first home game of the season. You are watching Collinsville K-Hawk basketball on the K-Hawk Broadcasting Club Network. We're back with the fourth quarter right after this.
Are you in need of a new mailbox to go with your new home? How about a new mailbox to replace your old one? Look no further than Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes in Collinsville. From economy to custom, Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes can create a mailbox that suits your needs. Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes is licensed and insured. They use only high-quality materials and offer a satisfaction guarantee policy. Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes can also make your very own axe throwing set, hanging or standing. Whether you need that axe throwing set or a new mailbox, you need Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes in Collinsville. For more information, get a hold of Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes at 618-680-0208 or online at needanewmailbox.com.
Back over here at the Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Collinsville K-Hawks 2,200 wins. Congratulations to the entire K-Hawk basketball program as they were able to pick up that 22nd hundred win, I guess, win number 2,200. 2,200 against the Heron Tigers on Tuesday. They're looking for win 2201 right now. I think that speaks to just the legacy and the great tradition that is here at Collinsville High School, as the Collinsville K-Hawks, I believe, have the 3rd most wins of any basketball program in the country, Zach Roseman.
Yep, it's, obviously there was a point in time a while back when they back up at Quincy where they had the 4 between Collinsville, Quincy, Centralia, and Dobbins-Bennett High School out of Kingsport, Tennessee. They had the 4 winningest programs in the nation a number of years ago, and I'm not sure exactly who's all there now, but I think it's similar as Quincy up over 2,000. Centralia, I believe, are still the winningest program in the country. Collinsville, obviously, strong traditions here. in this state of Illinois.
Oh boy, that's a long way out for Jamori Weisinger, and he makes it. 25 for Jamori Weisinger. Some of the fans on their feet here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. What a shot. That's almost unguardable. That's NBA range, Zach Roseman.
Yes, it is.
Oh, what a swat by Chambers. Now they're feeling it. This is what the Jayhawks can do. The long-range three on the one end from Weisinger, and then the denial at the rim from Zach Chambers.
Yeah, Calvin Nelson only 5'9". You know, Chambers is a foot taller than him. Three-pointer from Harris up and good.
Oh, man, yeah. Well, that Jackson Harris puts one down. 13-point game. Jayhawks trying to get this win number 2,201 here. They're going to have to be clinical here in the fourth quarter, though. And there's a steal there from Calvin Nelson. He'll try to go the other way. He's got the layup to go.
And lost a shoe.
Yeah, he did lose the shoe, but that's what he's going to try to go the other way. That's Carlin Nelson, who gets the play. Now Horace will throw one up. He's fouled. It gives an opportunity for Nelson to put his shoe back on. Hey, I like it. Whether you have one shoe on or nothing or zero, he's still trying, or two shoes, one shoe or zero shoes, you're still trying to play defense out there.
Yeah, he got back out there. And actually I mean, I don't know that you want to foul Horace, but not a bad idea to get the foul, able to get his shoe back on. Good presence of mind to pick it up and sprint down court without sliding too much with that grip difference. Horace free throw up and good.
He was 0 for 2 at the line in the third quarter. That's when the things started unraveling there for the Jayhawks. It was a 4-point game at one point, and nerves started to circle around Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, but the Collinsville Jayhawks got it back. Evan Wilkinson, Jamori Weisinger hit some crucial threes down the stretch as Carnahan will check in after Horace makes the free throw. 8.8 points per game last year for Nick Horace. He also led the team in assists, 5.3 assists for Nick Horace, which when I was looking at the roster, I thought that was pretty impressive. He had good numbers at Heron as well. 10.7 rebounds, 5 assists. He's Mr. Everything for Collinsville.
Yeah, and it felt like almost kind of a quiet game, and he still, wasn't too far away from a triple-double. And that's kind of the way Nick plays, just extremely versatile in the capabilities that he has. Usually has the task of guarding the opposition's best players. He's been guarding Franklin most of the night.
There's Christian Johnson left open for three. Stanley Carnahan just kind of shrugged his shoulders. He thought it would be fine to leave him that much space, but he sinks another one. Miller Career Academy have shot the ball very well from three-point land. It's a 10-point game. Now Brister down the lane. Outside to Horace. Nice shot fake again from Horace. He's been doing that all night. Shot short. Fouls to Johnson. And here we go again potentially for Collinsville. Maybe the nerves start to file in. Carlin Nelson for three. It's good. Timeout, Miller Career Academy. They just cannot find a way to get out of this game. They're keeping themselves in it, and the Jayhawks will have to work to get this victory here tonight. 64-57, full timeout from Brandon Wright, and we'll return after it here on the Jayhawk Broadcasting Club Network.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Jayhawk Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Jayhawks.
Well, we've got a lot of fun for you here today. We've got some more tomorrow. 11 o'clock is the first game. Mascoutah will be playing Miller Career Academy, who you're watching playing right now. And then at 12:30, Collinsville has Riverview Gardens. The nightcap looks like this on Saturday night in the Mascoutah-Collinsville Tip-Off Classic. It'll be Miller Career Academy versus Riverview Gardens at 6. And then Collinsville versus Mascoutah, or pardon me, Miller Career Academy versus Riverview Gardens at 5:30. Collinsville versus Mascoutah at 7 o'clock. All of those games brought to you here live on the Jayhawk Broadcasting Club Network. Zach lead down to 7 again. Jayhawks kind of flirted with giving the lead away early in the third quarter. They're flirting with it again, it seems like.
Yeah, Miller Career just not going away, sticking around, getting after it, much like Riverview Gardens did, only this one's a lot closer. Great take there from Horace. He's got 22 now.
22 for Nick Horace, 25 for Jamori Weisinger. They account for 47 of the 66 points for Collinsville's score tonight. We knew this was going to probably be an offensive showdown. Miller career average is 60 points a game. That's what it has been. Collinsville have more points now here early in the fourth quarter than they did in the overtime loss to Miller career last year. There's a block by Weisinger. No, he's not able to save it, so it'll be out of bounds here right towards the corner on the baseline.
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of hustle effort plays. I mean, not the biggest crowd you'll ever see at Virgil Fletcher, but still a decent one, and they've certainly certainly been pretty active. Decent number of Miller career fans making their way from the northern portion of the city of St. Louis. Great pass there to Mann.
And a great back cut by Miller career. Just a little bit of an awareness play there. And I tell you what, Collinsville could be a little bit more aggressive here. No players on the floor right now for Collinsville have any fouls. They could get a little bit more aggressive and try to play strong and play a little bit harder, maybe take a couple of fouls here in the fourth quarter. Remember, 5 is when we'll get to the double bonus. It's a quarter foul rule.
Yep, yeah, change in that ruling now as K-Hawks, even with the shot clock kind of going 4 corners here.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Horace pulls up, and it's good. He's got 24. The two-headed dragon for the Collinsville K-Hawks. I know it's called a three-headed dragon normally, but the two-headed dragon now, Horace and Weisinger, 24 and 25 respectively. Great shooting numbers, but Collinsville's got to get on it on the defensive end. Here's Franklin Jr. Oh, it looked like he was about to step into the threes. Guarded by Horace. This is Christian Johnson, who has 11 points of his own. 4:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. Collinsville trying to look to fend off Miller Career Academy. Franklin Jr. for 3, no good. Big rebound by Chambers, and Collinsville can relax a little bit, take some more time off the clock here with 4.5 to play.
Yeah, you got 35 seconds, and the K-Hawks are looking content to use it, almost reminiscent of the 2017-ish era Edwardsville Tigers under Mike Waldo, able to spread it out, but with guys like Mark Smith and A.J. Epinesa able to score out of it, and that's kind of what Nick Horse has been able to do here.
Brisker drives in. Oh, he dished it straight to a Miller Career Academy player. That's Brian Mann who picks up the loose piece. Just kind of crossed it, or got his lines crossed there. Here's Carlin Nelson. Drives in with the left hand. Swatted away by Chambers at the rim. He averages almost 2 blocks a game, and that's a big defensive play there. Collinsville can relax a little bit now if they want to. It's been the second half for Nick Horace. He's looking for more points. Great move by Horace. Up and under for 2. He's now Collinsville's leading scorer with 26.
I would have to think that this is a career high for Nick. What a phenomenal.
Absolutely a career high for Nick Horace.
What a phenomenal second half, and Coach Brandon Wright will call timeout.
I believe that's Wright's final timeout of the night. 11-point lead for the K-Hawks, 3.5 to go. It'll be a short one here. We'll keep it right here for you on the K-Hawk Broadcast Club Network. Zach Chambers, as we wind down here on the final game of action today, what has impressed you, or what has impressed you? Where have your expectations fallen short in terms of these 4 teams that have played here today?
Realistically, I think, generally speaking, pretty much all the teams, with the exception of probably Riverview Gardens, have really played quite well. Collinsville able to just do a lot of things well. Miller Career have been impressive. Mascuda have been impressive. I mean, even Riverview Gardens had some positive moments that they can build off of over the 2 games tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, the quality of talent has been pretty good, and obviously kind of a rearranging of the tournament. And this is something that's the K-Hawks. It's always been a little interesting trying to find a good home for them in the Thanksgiving tournament. You've seen them go a variety of different places. A couple years ago, going all the way up to Rock Island. But
I was on that team. That was enjoyable.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that a lot. It's actually interesting, Zach. 40 years it's been since Collinsville last hosted a Thanksgiving tournament. They did it in partnership with Lincoln High School, the Rail Splitters, who obviously play in the Holiday Classic every year. So I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, that was right at the beginning of the Collinsville Prairie Farms Holiday Classic, as Horse will drive in inside to Chambers. Oh, he almost postered Michael Walker. There'll be a foul there. He'll get a chance to get the points at the line, but a body was almost caught here at Collinsville High School, and it would have belonged to Zach Chambers. Unbelievable, and Chambers will go to the line, try to make up the points there. That would have been the most jaw-dropping play of the night. Zach Chambers only has 6 points. That would have been the loudest 2, Zach Roseman.
Yes, it would have been. Now Chambers will get the chance to add on those 2 poins. First free throw up, and
that's
airball.
Well, I mean, maybe he put all of his strength into the dunk. Now he's the free throws aren't as cool, let's just say, as the dunk that, James Gurley, who's shooting photos down there for the Collinsville Jayhawks, he could get that in action, and I'm sure even though he wasn't able to complete the dunk, still an impressive play for Zach Chambers nonetheless. He will get a poster this year, I promise you. With 3 minutes to play here, Chambers makes the second 12-point lead. Zach Roseman, I'll bring you in here. Oh, and actually, I won't bring you in. It's out of bounds as Carlin Nelson just let the ball go. I think it hit his head. He wasn't expecting the ball there. I don't think he was supposed to get the ball there.
Nobody else was down there.
That just stops any Miller Career Academy motivation or just momentum is the word I'm looking for in its tracks. There's Chambers. There's the dunk.
There it is.
Missed the dunk just about a minute ago. He's got it right back there. Jayhawks back up to a 14-point lead, which is where they had it at the halftime. It's going to be fun to watch Zach Chambers dunk this season. Oh, and he swats that one away. It's the Zach Chambers show all of a sudden. Brister up the court to Horace, and he'll lay it up for two as Zach Chambers was flying in there. He's trying to get another dunk, and the lead's up to 16. My goodness. Here's Franklin Jr. Fouled by Brister before he was able to score.
Oh, wait. No shot. No.
Chad Burgess over there saying it was no basket.
Okay, saw the point and wasn't sure.
I think.
But yeah, foul on the floor. It'll be on Brister. That's his first. None of the Jayhawks really in foul trouble, as we mentioned.
Now it seems a lot more manageable for Collinsville with 2.5 minutes to play. Again, they play Riverview Gardens at 12:30. They lost by 50 earlier today. Didn't quite corral the rebound was Chase Reynolds. Now it's Carlin Nelson. Nice little step through for him. Oh, he couldn't get the rebound to go, but open for two. Oh, and it's two missed layups, two missed bunnies. Then Christian Johnson puts it in.
Yeah, Johnson's gotten up to 13, hit a couple of threes. He's had a pretty solid performance, kind of a balanced guy, showing. Maybe a little bit of a concern for Miller Career coming in was that it was just going to kind of be the Antoine Franklin show. And to a point it has, but he's gotten some help that I wasn't sure that the Phoenix were going to be able to provide, which bodes well for them going into the rest of the season.
Horace spin move and the score. Put him up to 30 points tonight for Nick Horace, number 3, the brother of Dayton Horace. He has had quite a night tonight. I tell you what, there haven't been a ton of college teams that have scouted him so far. I would really argue as Carlin Nelson makes the bucket with 90 seconds to play, he is absolutely a college basketball player. These are college basketball moves that he's putting on. Brister does give it away here. Here's man, Carlin Nelson, bucket again. And the lead's back down to 12, and Jayhawks will just...
it's 12 for...
relax. Oh, now Jayhawks giving it away again. Here's Christian Johnson who scores. And timeout, Miller Career Academy. It's not done yet. Hold the phone. Thought things were slowing down, but 6 points off of turnovers almost immediately for Miller Career. 1:05 to go. 30-second timeout there. Well, the Jayhawks it's been a story. It's been really the story of tonight's game. While the Jayhawks have looked really good in some spurts, they just haven't been able to get away from this Miller Career Academy team. And that's what had them lose that tough game against the Phoenix last year when these two teams played. The probability of this tonight would probably say that Miller Career isn't going to be able to come back down 10 with a minute to play. It's happened before, but, I mean, it just goes to show you it's been a real thorn in the side for the Jayhawks Miller Career Academy. Just haven't been able to wiggle away from them.
Yeah, they had a handful of those games last year where, they really just being, for a lack of execution or just, they just haven't quite been able, I'm not going to say a lack of a killer instinct, but they just haven't quite been able to put some teams away. And, Miller Career obviously went 16-11, had to, I believe they won a playoff game.
Yep, they did. Beat Live for Life.
Yeah, beat Live for Life, another team that beat Collinsville last year. And, obviously ran into the, the blue and white buzzsaw that is the Vashon Wolverines. But, Coach Wright's been able to come in and just establish, and this is a strong program. This is a pretty quality basketball team for, I believe they are Class 4 in Missouri. Missouri has 6 classes with an enrollment of a little over 500 students, I believe.
Good pass by Horace. Brister almost lost the basketball. They got to get it across. They do to Reynolds. Now it's to Horace. Over to Weisinger. He threw the ball away again. Another turnover here. And now the door opens just a little bit more for Miller Career. Franklin Jr. down the floor. Almost lost the ball himself. Now it's Johnson. He'll pull up from the left wing. No good. That's going to stay with Miller Career. And they really needed a basket on that possession right there if they wanted to stay. Collinsville gets away with it a little. It gets a little bit lucky.
Bring Carnahan
Good
in.
pressure by Miller Career, though. That's going to be a problem for Mascoutah when these two teams play against each other at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Here's Franklin Jr. Miller Career Academy needs a bucket. Franklin Jr. doesn't get it. Carnahan the rebound, and I guess at that point, going to put this one in the book. Zach Roseman with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, just enough time. They can turn the shot clock off now, and K-Hawks will go 5 out. Phoenix not going to foul, it looks like. And it looks like that'll go ahead and just about do it here.
Maybe Horace is looking for more. I wouldn't be surprised. He's got 30 points tonight. He'll lead all scorers. Weisinger will take it out the back. And for the first game of the Collinsville-Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic for the K-Hawks, they will pick up a win. Sometimes really pretty, sometimes a little bit ugly, but the final score is all that matters. 67 points for the K-Hawks in their season opener against Heron. They've got 77 tonight as they beat the Miller Career Academy Phoenix 77-67, avenging the loss that they took against the Phoenix last year. K-Hawks, again, led by some great performances by Nick Horace, who had 30 points. Jamori Weisinger, I believe, finishes with 25. Initial reaction, Zach, after the K-Hawks 10-point victory here to start the tournament tonight, or start the Tip-Off Classic here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, really just a lot of good, a lot of good things. This is as high quality of an offensive performance as I've seen from this K-Hawk squad in quite a while. Just to be able to have two guys just be able to fill up the score sheet like Jamori and Nick did tonight. It's not something that, obviously the K-Hawks have been good, but you haven't really seen two guys that can do that, really not since, the Rayshon Taylor teams has that been able to happen. But it was a good showing. I think Miller Career Academy, there's some positive things that you can build off of. Obviously, both teams have 2 more games tomorrow, and yeah, it'll be it should be a fun 4 games tomorrow. Be back here at 11 o'clock, and some lunchtime basketball.
Yeah, a little bit of a lunchtime basketball as Antoine Franklin Jr. leads the Phoenix with 23 points. Back to wrap it up for you here with a little bit of a short wrap-up. Final score here tonight, 77-67. K-Hawks beat the Phoenix. We'll be back with a little bit of a post-game show on the K-Hawk Broadcasting Club Network shortly in just a moment.
Plumbing or electrical problems? Is your AC or heater on the fritz? There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Services. We earn our stripes every day.
Diamonds for K-Hawks is a facility improvement project to develop a baseball, softball, and football/soccer field for CHS students and our communities to utilize. The project includes 2 baseball fields, 2 softball fields, a soccer/football field, concession stand, bathrooms, and parking. The development of this facility will benefit the band, PE classes, baseball team, softball team, and soccer team with a centralized location, ease of access, and an eye-catching complex. Please contact A.D. Clay Smith to donate to this project or visit the Collinsville Area Community Foundation website to make your tax-deductible donation today.
Herald Square and Cold Herald, 2 great additions to the Collinsville landscape. Next to the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, Herald Square is a new outdoor multi-use event space in Collinsville. Concerts, fun and games, farmer markets, and so much more. Herald Square, a great space for Collinsville's future. And, just off the square's turf, Cold Herald, old-fashioned scooped ice cream, gelato, house-made recipes, and premium-sourced product. If you're over 21, ask about the good stuff at Cold Herald. Watch Collinsville grow. Herald Square and Cold Herald, 2 great new additions, only in Collinsville, Illinois.
Chapman Trucking, LLC. Chapman Trucking is a local Collinsville business owned and operated by 1994 Collinsville graduate Christy Chapman. With over 10 years of experience, Chapman Trucking, LLC can take care of all of the heavy lifting when it comes to hauling aggregate materials such as sand, driveway rock, dirt, boulders, and more. That includes getting your heavy work equipment to your work site where it needs to be. Give Christy a call for a free estimate at Chapman Trucking LLC, 618-960-9346, or online at chapmantruckingllc.net.
All right, post-game show here for you from Collinsville High School. Final score, K-Hawks 77, Phoenix 67. Collinsville wins their first game of the Thanksgiving Collinsville-Mascoutah Thanksgiving Tip-Off Classic here on Black Friday, and their first home win of the season against a team that beat them last year. Matt Clark here with Zach Roseman. Obviously, the big story that will be coming out of here tonight is that Nick Horace had 30 points. I'd have to go back in my little, I don't know, my little history books here at Collinsville High School to see the last time that a K-Hawk player had 30 points. Zach, I'm going to give a guess to it right now because I don't think anybody broke 30 last year. I'm going to just go on a limb and say that that's the first 30-point performance for any player since Rayshawn Taylor, and it belongs to Nick Horace.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to think Rayshawn Taylor going back to a stretch of back-to-back games where he had, I think, like 96 points.
Yeah, pretty impressive. That was in the Belleville East tournament.
Yeah,
he broke the single game scoring record, I believe, with 51 against
50. I think he wound up with 53 against
53, yes,
against Trinity Catholic, which of course no longer closed that school down a couple of years ago, and then played Triad on the road not too long later, and I think he had 40 something. So yeah, I mean,
yeah, I remember
we'll
that
have
game.
We'll
look at the history books on that one.
But you might be right, yeah. So good performance for K-Hawks. Obviously some things to work on, but you got 2 games tomorrow. Obviously Mascoutah looked pretty strong in their showing against
that should be a really good one. Collinsville versus Mascoutah at 7 o'clock here on the K-Hawk Broadcast Club Network. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, and that Mascoutah-Miller career game tomorrow, we kind of, in my personal discussions, I kind of had that one circled as, maybe the game of the tournament, and this one was pretty entertaining, so should be a fun one tomorrow. Yeah, it should be a fun time, 4 games. So real quick, we'll run down the schedule again. Mascoutah and Miller Career Academy at 11 o'clock, and then followed by Riverview Gardens and Collinsville at around 12:30. And then we'll go ahead and take a session break.
So that I can have Thanksgiving with my family. But, I mean, there you go. We'll be back at 5:30 that evening, where Miller Career Academy will play Riverview Gardens, and the Collinsville K-Hawks will face the Mascoutah Indians. That'll be at 7 o'clock live here on the K-Hawk Broadcast Club Network. Final words from you from tonight's game. Obviously, I wanted to mention Antoine Franklin Jr. finishes with 23, leads all scorers for Miller Career Academy. But just thoughts on the K-Hawk performance.
Yeah, I mean, really good showing, like we said. Should be a fun day of basketball tomorrow. I'd like to take a quick second to thank my little brother Josh Roseman.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Get
some flowers for Josh Roseman.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, he's done some help for us running some behind-the-scenes thing. Always fun to have him here. And, yeah, I'd like to thank you all for watching. We'll go ahead and shut things down for tonight. We'll be back on, probably about 10:45 or so tomorrow.
Yes, for sure. And thank you to Zach Roseman as well for today's game. Thanks to Todd Duke for all the help that he has setting us up here, of course. And we appreciate all of you tuning in, obviously, on a little bit of a different network, a little bit of a secondary network to our flagship station, the K-Hawk Sports Network. But for now, good night. We'll get some sleep and meet you guys back here at 11 o'clock. Thanks for watching K-Hawk basketball on the K-Hawk Broadcast Club Network. We'll see you tomorrow for more action from the Collinsville-Mascoutah Tip-Off Classic.